to our friends on Instagram, and good morning to our friends on Facebook. Tanja here, Peak Performance Coach for real estate and property professionals. Welcome to Mindset Mastery Monday. It is Monday the 20th of August. I hope you've had a beautiful weekend. Today's session really is for real estate leaders and agents that may suffer from what I call premature contractulation. This is for people that may peak before the paperwork is signed. Christine Morris, lovely to have your company. Thank you for joining us. Did you have a good weekend? Give me a thumbs up if you did. I actually want to take this opportunity to thank everyone that has been writing in and DMing and emailing and even calling me or sending me a message to say how much you enjoyed last week's episode of me sharing a vulnerable story of stuffing up on stage, speaking in front of 600 people. It really touched a chord. It's one of our best performing Mindset Mastery episodes so far. Hey, Chris Cotton, lovely to have your company too. Thank you so much for sharing Mindset Mastery Monday with people that you know. Really appreciate it. So today I'm going to share with you a story about how I and my husband Lincoln as vendors had a relationship with an agent for over a year. He was great. He really nurtured us and was, following up with us and doing market updates with us and just remaining sticky. How we went from pretty much giving him the business to giving it to another agent within 20 minutes of meeting him. I'm going to share, good morning, Katie, how are you on Instagram? Thanks for joining us. I'm going to share the 6 things that this agent who secured our business in just 20 minutes did to take it off an agent that had us for about a year. And I'm going to share the 4 things you must never do as an agent if you are at a competitive listing. This really is the genesis for why I started my peak performing coaching business and niched it into the real estate industry, because I just feel that partnering the potential sale of someone's biggest asset is a privilege. And I really see a huge opportunity to help leaders and teams in the residential real estate space increase their ability to connect, be able to deliver great rapport and connect, and then land more listings. That's really the intention of this session. So if that's of benefit to you, do you think? Give me a thumbs up and let me know. If you also have your team or colleagues or people that you know would really value this conversation, feel free to tag them. This is all complimentary content, so I just want to be able to, support as many people as I can. All right, thanks, Katie. Paula Beavis, you did your savers this morning. Go you. Well done. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so let's get on with the story and these distinctions that'll really elevate your ability to build rapport, land more listings, and have raving fans. So back in November 2014, my husband Lincoln and I were looking to sell our family home. We, as I said before, had a relationship with an agent for about a year. We had met, I can't even remember how we met him, but he did a great job staying connected with us without being too pushy. He would touch base, and we were one of those vendors that were oscillating. We were on, we were off, we were umming, we were ahhing, and it got to the point where we had decided we were good to go. However, I said to Lincoln, let's get a couple of other agents in. Let's get a bit of a different opinion. So we did. So we had agent A, who was great, who had been nurturing us for a year. We invited agent B into the house. Now, agent B was a lady who had evidence that she was negotiating the highest value for the homes that she was selling in our area from what we could see. This was obviously really a value and important to us, so we brought her in. She came in and she was great on paper. However, whenever she asked us a question, whenever Lincoln, my husband, or I went to answer, she would cut us off. She wouldn't let us finish. And it was like she was trying to push her agenda. Big mistake. Hey, Ad. Good morning, Ad. Welcome. Thanks for joining us for Mindset Mastery Monday. Don't do that. People buy people, not products. People buy you as an agent. Your ability to be present when asking permission to partner the sale of people's biggest asset is critical. So that was agent B. And then we brought in agent C. Now, when we called in agent C, within a matter of 4 hours, his assistant was at the door with a pre-list kit. His assistant was really personal and not pushy, just really happy and joyful. And there was a great little kit that they had provided with some information and bits and pieces, which I'll share with you shortly. Agent C came in, and actually, here are the 6 things that Agent C did that really were simple. And actually, what I want to say here is probably anything that I'm going to say is not revolutionary. It's not necessarily deeply innovative, but it's really getting back to the basics. Morning, PK. Like, there is so much noise and distraction. There's $7.6 billion being spent on prop tech. The market conditions are changing. And I see leaders and teams in real estate, thumbs up, distracted by all of this noise. And I truly believe more than ever before, we've got to get back to the basics. We've got to remember that technology just enables people to do what they do best, and that is connect. I don't believe that technology is going to fully replace an agent. However, I do believe it's time for agents to be present, build rapport, and lose yourself in service of the vendor. And this is what Agent C did. So when we called them to come in for an appointment, their assistant came in with a pre-list kit. Number one, it was timely and it was consistent. There were consistent brand themes. There was consistent joyful service. And there's what I call a thud factor. If you're going to listings without a pre-list kit or without something leave behind, you're missing the thud factor. It's a significant transaction. There's significant gravity to what you're doing. It requires some thought, a folder, some communication that's not generic, that is personalized. And that's the second thing that this agent did. It was deeply personalized. There was a personalized letter. There was personalized service. Again, not revolutionary. But the second thing that they did, they gave before they got. In the listing kit, there were just some complimentary coffee cards. It just so happened to be to our favorite local cafe. It was co-branded and it had something like, this is a big decision. Go and have a coffee and some cake on us and toss around what's important to you. And we were just like, that's kind of nice. What is the cost of 2 complimentary coffee, vouchers to a local cafe? Which means you're also promoting a local cafe. So they gave before they got. The third tip that this agency did was when it was his time to come to our house and have the conversation, he was what I call Switzerland. You couldn't feel him. Meaning there was no agenda there. He was deeply present. He matched and mirrored our energy beautifully. For those of you who haven't heard that term before, it's a new neuro-linguistic programming term where you just replicate the person you're with because your vibe attracts your tribe. For example, if your vendors at the door are fast-paced and talking quickly, you want to be fast-paced and talk quickly because you'll be like them. If they're really slow and relaxed and considered, you want to match that because you'll be like them. And people like them. When we opened the door, I couldn't feel him at all, meaning he was just what I call Switzerland, completely neutral. He came in, he was looking through the house, and he was verbally commenting on the hero elements of the property. Beautiful high ceilings, lots of natural light, and wow, look at that fireplace. I reckon that pumps a lot of heat out. So what he was doing there was really showcasing how he would potentially highlight the features and benefits of the house to potential buyers. So if you're not doing that as an agent when you first walk in, as I said, it's not revolutionary, but it's back to basics. Take a moment to comment on the things that you see. Don't be afraid to ask, what was it that really, inspired you to move here in the first place, and find out what they love about the property. Now, when it came time for Agent C and Lincoln and I to sit down at the dining table, here's what he did. I don't know if this was subconscious or conscious. I think it was subconscious because he just seemed like a natural connector. He had his listing kit and his presentation, and we sat at the dining table, and he pushed number 4 was he pushed the sale to the side. Physically pushed his collateral to the side, leant into the conversation and said, tell me about you guys. Tell me about you. There wasn't straight to business. It wasn't about the marketing campaign or commission or their business. It was push the sale to the side, lean into the conversation and tell me about you guys. And then the next thing he did after we got some connection happening, which was number 5, he elicited the love. What does that mean? He asked such an open question, which you probably won't see on normal scripts and dialogues. He said, what would you guys love? What would you really love to see here? To see happen here? And look, he had me at that point, because what he's doing there is diving in straight over to our values. A really great agent elicits the love, elicits the future desires of the vendors, and then they reverse engineer their response in order of priority of what the vendor shares. That's what this agent did extremely well. And the sixth thing he did was he was deeply over there with us. He never got distracted. We felt that he was completely with us. Good morning, Sam. How are you? Lovely to have your company. Are you back? Are you back at business yet, or still enjoying a holiday? And once he elicited the love, once he got really clear on our desired outcomes, he said, great. And he captured it all. Yeah, thumbs up from Sam. He captured it all, and he said, is there anything else you want to share? Anything else you expect to happen here? He really asked us what's important to this in the sale of your home, and what, if you were to put it in order of priority, what would it be? And what do you expect from your agent of choice? Like, what really matters to you? He asked us what our previous experience with an agent was, without wanting names or brands. He was very diplomatic. He didn't actually, say anything political. He just said, oh, we didn't have a great experience. He said, oh, I'm sorry, that was your experience. Okay, clearly this and this and this is important to you. And then he just said, so can I show you now how I can really help you fulfill what you'd love to see happen here? And we were like, yeah. And it was graceful and it was easy. There was no bells and whistles. It was just deep connection, deep presence, and being a full contribution. Yeah, I'm getting lots of love here. Listen, as Gary Vee says, don't get fancy before you're fancy. And even when you are fancy, don't complicate it. Hey, Sam, don't complicate it. People want you to be present with them. They want you to listen. They don't want you to cut them off when they're speaking. They want to know that you get what they value. So in 20 minutes, that all happened. And we were like, our gut, which is your heart, which is your soul, which as an acronym means give up thinking. Don't think about it. It's how you feel. Have you as a leader or as an agent ever heard a vendor say, we just felt right with them? That's your gut talking. Our gut was just like, yeah, this is comfortable. And we had trust within 20 minutes. Now, fast forward then to calling agent A in to have an opportunity to list. Here's what shifted. The moment we said we were ready, his whole demeanor changed. He got what I call premature contractulation. He peaked before the paperwork was signed. His whole persona became, arrogant. And he walked in, sat down at the dining table and said, right, here's the marketing campaign, here's the timeline, and here's the commission structure, here's the contract, sign here. And I said to him, well, so thank you. We actually have decided to get some different perspectives and points of view. And this is where he made one of his first mistake. The first mistake is don't have premature contractulation. Don't peak before the paperwork is signed. Number two, be unattached to the outcome. When we said, someone likes that comment, premature contractulation. Give me a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about with that made up term that came to me at 1 o'clock this morning. Number two is don't be attached to the outcome. As soon as I said we were getting some other opinions, he completely changed. His whole demeanor got agitated and actually frustrated. He clearly hadn't graduated from the Lady Gaga school of poker face, because he did number three mistake, which was took it personally. You could see it was so about him and not about us. And number four of what not to do when you know the listing is competitive, don't crack the shits. When the vendor is telling you they're going to bring other people, they have the right to do that, even if you've been nurturing the relationship for 12 months. Even more importantly, you want to get really interested. Okay, guys, absolutely go ahead. Out of interest though, what was missing in our exchange where you didn't feel certain to sign up with me? And get interested, ask questions. But He peaked before the paperwork was signed. His whole demeanor changed when we said we think we're ready to go. And listen, in fairness to him, we gave him every sign to think that that was actually going to happen. So, you know, he thought it was his, but it wasn't yet. He was attached to the outcome, which meant when new information and insight came in, he couldn't be with it because his expectation wasn't met, which is the first cause of upset. By the way, little side note, there's 3 reasons why you or your clients or your team or your kids or your spouse get upset. Number 1, unmet expectations. Tick. He didn't have his expectations met. Good morning, Katrina Maddock. Lovely to have your company. Good morning, Byron. 2, withheld communication. You've got something to say and you're not saying it. You're holding on to it. That's going to make you upset. And 3, interrupted intention. You're going for something and something out of your control interrupts it happening. So I'm going to do a whole session on that. Got my sound turned off, but hey, but it's good advice. Yeah, put your headphones on, Byron, and you can watch the recording later. Okay, so how does an agent who was nurturing us for 12 months lose the business to an agent that we'd met for 20 minutes? Premature contractulation, attached to the outcome, took it personally, and cracked the shits when we said we were going to get some other advice. This means you're transactional. This means it's more about you than about us. How did the agent who met us for 20 minutes really secure our business? Well, number 1, it was his service was timely and consistent. From the moment we engaged, I think it was actually within the first 2 hours, his assistant was there, beautifully presented, warm and engaging with a pre-list kit. Number 2, they gave before they got. They gave us complimentary coffee vouchers, just so happened to be to our favorite local cafe. We saw that as a sign, but that's just us. 3, when the agent turned up, the agent was Switzerland, meaning they were neutral. They weren't running on their own steam or agenda. That he was deeply matching and mirroring us, meeting our pace, meeting our tonality, meeting our energy, complimenting verbally on the highlights of the home that he could see, showcasing how he would potentially promote our home to potential buyers. This was the big one. Number 4, when we sat at the dining table, he pushed the sale to the side, leant into the conversation, and number 5, elicited the love. Asked us open questions like, tell me guys, what would you love to see happen here? Boom, hooked straight into our core values. Everything that came out of his mouth was in priority of what we said in priority, which means he's building rapport, building rapport, building rapport. And number 6, he was just over there with us. There was nowhere to get. He wasn't pushing or forcing an outcome. He was letting us guide the way, and he was powerfully demonstrating and earning respect and connecting. And then when it came to asking for the business, when he proved that he could meet what was important to us in the sale of our home, when he proved that he could meet our expectations of an agent of choice, when he eliminated any objections by asking, is there any reason why? After I demonstrate how I can meet what's important to you and meet your expectations of your agent of choice, is there any reason why we couldn't get this started today? Help me understand if there's any challenges. When he eliminated that, he didn't even ask for the business. We wanted to give it to him. Some of the things that I've shared with you today is some of the things I share with my one-on-one coaching clients, and they significantly increase their listing conversion rate. And here's what else happens. Often in the listing consultation, remember, I don't call them presentations because as a vendor, I don't want you to present to me. I want you to consult with me. I want you to engage. I want you to ask me questions. I want this to be a dance. I want us to do this together, not jazz hands. Here's how we do it. You're over there and we're over here, and pay us when we're done. That's transactional. There was such a difference. He was relational. The other agents, unfortunately, were transactional. You don't ever want to be transactional. That's why consumers don't trust real estate agents at the moment, according to the Roy Morgan image of trusted professions. So the other thing that's happening when agents, and I'm sharing this in our private coaching, is the vendor, before even signing up and doing business, is actually saying these 2 things. You're not like other agents, And in fact, I have a couple of friends that are looking to sell too. I'd like to refer them to you. So give me a thumbs up if you would love to significantly increase your listing conversion rate. Good morning, Rebecca. Lovely to have your company. If you'd love to increase your listing conversion rate, if you'd love people to be telling you you're not like other agents, or you're not like other buyers agents, or you're not like others, and they are referring you to their friends at your first appointment before anything's happened, would you love that to happen to you? Show me some thumbs up, or some hearts, or some likes, or smileys, or anything you want to show me. Because if I was an agent, I would. All you need to do is really practice those 6 things that agent got our business. Yeah, thumbs up. Thank you, guys. And you significantly increase your chances of making that happen. So thank you, Exquisite Chauffeurs, for joining us again. I hope you found that useful. It really was the difference. Please do not be distracted by the world of disruption. Don't let technology and changing market conditions and consumer confidence interrupt or impact who you are today and this week and from now on. Be the change you want to see in the world, like Gandhi, and just focus on connecting. Be Switzerland, be over there, ask great questions, and don't push your agenda down the vendor's throat. Definitely don't suffer from premature contractualization. Don't peak before the paperwork is signed. I hope you found that useful. I'd love it if you would share this with your colleagues, your teams, and those in real estate who you know may need a little reminder to get back to the basics. I'm also here to answer any question you have around how to master your mindset and rise resilient in a world of rejection. It's not easy out there. However, the relational agent who is not transactional will get the business than the other person. So please DM me, please email me at tanja@tmjcoaching.com.au. I'd love to be of service, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday for Mindset Mastery Monday. Have a sensational day and a beautiful week. And bye on Facebook. Mwah.